Berta J, and you're back in my kitchen with me today to do the second video for Thanksgiving. Now, this is going to be the center of your plate, the main course of the plate, okay? They're going to be mushroom burgers, and they really are good. There's a lot of chopping and cutting going on that you have to do before you make these. It's not difficult to put together, but there's a lot of chopping. The first thing you do is you take a cup of cooked brown rice, 1 whole cup, put it into a bowl, a large bowl, because you're going to have to put all these things in it. And my other bowl wasn't big enough for you to see through, so you're going to have to just believe that I dropped it in there. Okay, so 1 cup of cooked brown rice. You take a cup of chopped onion. You put it into a fry pan that has a 1/2 cup of vegetable broth or water, and you cook it on a medium heat for 5 minutes until the onions look like that. They're sort of translucent and cooked. All of the water is gone. There's no water at the bottom. So 1 cup of cooked chopped onion. That goes in with the brown rice. Because they're mushroom burgers, you take 4 cups of chopped mushrooms, any kind of mushrooms that you like. You know the ones you want and that you like. I used cremini and some others. You take 4 cups of mushrooms that are chopped and you put it into a fry pan with a 1/2 cup of vegetable broth or water and cook it for 5 minutes until they're pretty tender. After 5 minutes, push the mushrooms back so that there's a lot of liquid in the front, and you just put your garlic in and cook that for 1 minute in the same pan, okay? You've got everything in here except you use a can of beans. I chose pinto beans because I like them. You want to use a sturdier bean. You could use, this is my daughter's recipe. She made it for me and our family for a vegan meal. It was really nice. She never made it before, but it's very delicious. And I use pinto beans, but she used garbanzo beans. And you lightly mash the beans of your choice so that some of them are mashed and some of them are slightly mashed. This is a regular can of beans that's about 15 ounces. You want to drain it and you want to rinse it and then do your mashing, okay? Now, once that's done, put that in your bowl and get it all. It's not much clinging to the sides, but before we go any further, I want to mix everything up. Onions, rice, beans. It's kind of dry, but that's okay. Once you've done that, take a 1.5 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. That's going to be like the egg that's going to pull it together. Remember I said to drain the mushrooms? Well, right now you're going to put 3 tablespoons of the drained mushroom juice into the ground flaxseed. So you do 1, 2, 3, and then stir that up. Now I'm going to let it set for a few minutes while I put in the other ingredients, and then I'll put this egg in last because it will thicken and you want it to thicken. In the meantime, put in a tablespoon of dried parsley that along with a half of a teaspoon of dried thyme. Now I put these two together because I needed to put it into the mortar and pestle and grind it up a little bit. That's what this is. A tablespoon of parsley and a 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. Sift that around. The next is 3/4 of a teaspoon of just regular paprika, okay? 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now, you may say, that's a lot of salt, Berta, but nothing in here is salted. And it does need a little bit of salt. If you have a different type of salt that you want to use that instead, but do 3/4 of a teaspoon. The last spice is 1/2 of a teaspoon of dry mustard. And I'm going to stir again. These are the last two liquid ingredients that you're going to do. And this is starting to get thick, but this is a quarter of a cup of almond butter. If you don't like almond butter, or you can't eat almond butter, but you can eat cashews or some kind of a seed, just make it into a smooth butter in your food processor or your blender, and then use a quarter of a cup, because that's going to be another part of the glue that holds these together. Okay? It was pretty watery before, but here it is. It's like a egg white. Remember I told you it was going to get thicker? See that? So that's like our egg that we're going to put in. Okay, so we're all done. All we have to do, and then we can stir it up. Smells wonderful. I've heard other cooks say, gee, I wish there was such a thing as a smell-o-vision. The last thing to do is to take a baking pan. This is a cookie sheet. Parchment line it. And that's where we're going to bake them. We're going to bake them right on here in the 375-degree oven. I have not fried them, but you probably could fry them. It would be perfectly fine. I've never tried them in my air fryer. Your hands get very messy. I can tell you that. All the burgers have been formed. I'm going to slide them into the preheated 375-degree oven for 25 minutes. I'm going to flip them over and do another 15 minutes, and then I'll bring them out so you can see them, okay? Okay, the burgers are done. And there they are. And I have some brown rice gravy that I like to always keep in my refrigerator. So I warm that up, and I'm going to put it on my brown rice right here. But now the burgers, I'm just not going to put anything on them. And I'm going to try it with nothing. Giving you an honest opinion. This is really good. It's like a little tiny, the cooking gave it a tiny little bit of a skin. These flavors are just amazing, guys. My daughter did an excellent job making up this one, and I love it. So I hope that you will use it as your main meat for your meal. You'll have a nice Thanksgiving dinner, all vegan, plant-based, and you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for hanging in with me to make these delicious mushroom burgers. And so until next time, troopers, don't forget to don't forget to describe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell. Don't forget to leave me some comments below. And fourth, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Bye for now.